The bowed string instrument family is made up of instruments that are somewhat similar. Though varying in size, the violin, viola, cello, and bass all have a similar structure in sound production. Three of these instruments are commonly used in traditional music. All four instruments listed above have a fingerboard with no frets, which means that any note or tone from a Western or Eastern music scale can be played. This is not possible on instruments that are common in traditional music that have frets, such as the guitar, banjo, or mandolin. As you move down the strings on the instrument, the fingerboard and the strings have a greater distance between them. When the fingerboard stops, there is a bit of space before the next important part of the instrument, the bridge. The space between the fingerboard and the bridge is the ideal spot for bow placement, as it allows for the purest tone. The bridge is an integral part in the sound production of a string instrument. As the bow is pulled across the strings, the bridge vibrates, which causes the top plate of a string instrument to vibrate. Directly under one of the bridge feet, there is a cylinder-shaped piece of wood that is wedged in between the back of the instrument and the top plate, called the sound post. There is also a baseboard that runs the length of the instrument under the opposite bridge foot. The sound travels outward through the F-holes and out into the world. The way string instruments make sound is the same in all four of the bowed string instrument family. Traditional music is no stranger to a honky-tonk sound and a walking bass line. Commonly heard in American folk music, the bass is perfect for tying together any bluegrass band or old-time jam session. On a slightly smaller note, yet still played with the instrument in between your legs, the cello is becoming more and more common in different genres. It has been seen used in old-time music, pop music, and heavy metal as both a backing instrument and a melodic instrument. Some have even utilized the cello as one of the front runners of a band, such as the duo of Alistair Fraser and Natalie Haas. And of course, the violin, or fiddle, is probably the most widely known string instrument. It is so commonly known that a small child watching an orchestra may refer to all string instruments as a violin and comment, "Mom, look at the really big violins." The fiddle is used in pop, country, indie, traditional, and Eastern music. It is extremely versatile. The viola is the middle child, in more ways than one. For starters, we rarely see the viola outside of an orchestra. We very rarely see or hear viola concerti, or even hear the melodies and symphonies being played on the viola. Many times in movie music, although the viola section is playing the melody line, it is just adding color to and drowned out by a brass colleague, the French horn. Even when the viola is being used, it is often overshadowed. The viola is also the closest instrument to the human voice in terms of range. It can be gritty in the lower register and shake in the high register. But if the viola is built the same way the other string instruments are, why then is it seen predominantly in classical music and not ever showcased like the other string instruments? The answer is simple. The viola is an imperfect instrument. The viola sits in a tonal range that, in order to have the ease of tone production that a full-size violin or full-size cello has, the viola would have to be 20 inches in length, which is 3.5 to 4.5 inches bigger than a standard size 15.5 or 16.5 inch viola. The ratio of instrument length to vibrating string length for the violin, cello, and bass all come out to about 0.91, whereas for the viola it comes out to about 0.94. This small difference makes producing a clean and clear tone on the viola very difficult. The question remains, is it impossible to play traditional music on the viola, or is it simply just more difficult? And if it is possible, why has it not been done before?